Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Harivam Tatsat Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Jalakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणम् परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। मान की जय। सदाशिव की जय। तुमसे को जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 5 creative impetus chapter 10 verse number 1 and 2. The conversation between Jadabharata and Maharaj Raghugana. We'll chant this verse. This will be something like a part 2 of Guru Sakiranu Gata. Guru Nijadati. Last time we described Vrindavan past tense. Similar to that. There it's submission and chanting, submission, hearing, submission, reading, submission, service, submission, and association. So this will be part 2 of that, which will be more of a tolerate in chanting, tolerate in hearing, tolerate in service, tolerate in association. So, as Maharaj Jadabharata, Maharaj Ravgana has been shown the most mercy by Bharat Maharaj, how he acted, how he tolerated it. um, Goes back to the Canto 3, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 25, the most important chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam. Glories of pure devotion service. Lord Kapila is instructing Mother Devahuti how he submits, how she asks questions. Very prominent. Prabhupada explains wonderfully. Many lots of classes Prabhupada given on that Canto 3, chapter 25. And also we'll touch upon Canto 7, chapter 2, the great demon Hiranyakashipu. After Hiranyaksha has been killed, chapter 1 is how Supreme Lord is equal to everyone as we are approaching Lord Narsinghdev's appearance, Narsingh Avirbhav on May 11th, Sunday. So we'll touch upon that chapter 2, where Yudhishthira Maharaj asking Narada Muni, why is that Prahlad, such a great devotee, son of Hiranyakashipu, how did he become so envious of his own son? How could he do that? So what is the root cause of it? What is the cause? Can you tell me? So that's how this particular, how Prahlad tolerated, how so Hanuman tolerated, so this exalted one, how Lord Shiva tolerated. All these things we can understand from the all the pure devotees, similar characteristics. and Prabhupada uses that word as well. He's also quoting here in this particular purport, going back to Kapila Siksha, verse number 13, I think, 3:25:13 is quoting, I think. He's quoting the, I think, 26 or so. Titikshva Karunika Suhruda Sarvadehina. Yeah, he's talking about Suhruda Sarvadehina. He's picking up that line from that verse. Titikshva Karunika. What is the characteristic of pure devotee? Is very, very tolerant. Because he's understood the permanent senses, he has understood there's a permanent body, he's understood the permanent mind, he's understood permanent intelligence, permanent consciousness. These are all spiritual world qualities. There are senses, there is body, there is a mind, there is intelligence, there is a consciousness. Everything is there. But those are permanent, not impermanent, not temporary. There we get permanent bliss. Here also, if we try to act in that way, we get bliss, concentrated ecstatic bliss. Ananda Ambudivardhan, it goes on increasing. So if you observe it, if you observe just like yesterday was Hanma Jayanti, if anybody who has observed very deeply, strongly, then they could have tasted some bliss from it, and it can continue. Sometimes it can continue hours, months, days, and months and years. It can continue. It doesn't stop that ecstasy. So, but one has to be intensely absorbed, just like Hanuman was absorbed with the service of Lord Ram. Then he could cross over the whole ocean, and no difficulty at all. But he was in bliss. When he found Mother Sita, it increased even more. So, as we go on doing services to the Lord and Guru, then naturally that bliss automatically will come. So, because of that absorption and intensity, and very much thinking that service is the foremost and ourself is that the second back burner, with so that one can experience that bliss. Otherwise, if we put ourselves in the front, then service is next, then it's we can't taste this bliss. And that is the context in which we are going to sing also. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur Dayara Sagara song where Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing. I just watched this morning Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bir Nagar, birthplace of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, seventh Goswami. He opened up the whole Bhakti philosophy, everything, all the angles of Anardhanamurti, what goes on in Vrindavan, what goes on in the spiritual world, Navadvip Dham, Mayapur Dham, the Holy Dham, what pastimes goes on, what are the eight Astakaliya Leela, what is the Jiva's position, everything he opened, writing hundreds of books, and at the same time he's so compassionate, went to door, begged $1 from each, a rupee from each, and to build the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Yoga Peeth. So many things he did. So grounded, he's so humble. He had so many kids. He was grahastha. He was working as a high court judge. So he was working almost, I think, 6 hours as a high court judge. He utilized his time so carefully, so judiciously. So he was meeting people, giving instructions, suggestions in various angles. Britishers used to come and meet him. Devotees used to meet him. But he's always in fully surcharged with bliss of Krishna consciousness. Today was his inauguration or a Bhumi Pujan. We found a place, we got a place in Bir Nagar. So we'll be building a temple and institution because Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave his teachings, lessons, and so many different books. So he wanted this bhakti process should be explained and given to everybody. He wanted the whole world should come to Sri Ram Mayapur, Bhakti Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and understand what is this bhakti is all about, and experience that bliss. So one who works towards that naturally can also experience that same bliss. It is available to everybody. Uh, so that is the verse which we are in, and here Bharat Maharaj is experiencing that bliss. So the same thing because he is supreme. So character he had. Yeah, with that we'll read 5, 10, 1 and 2. Oh, before that we should read the summary of this chapter so that as that's very important. This is from 11 commentaries. Srila Prabhupada is going through from Ramanujacharya, Sampradaya, Madhvacharya, so from many different acharyas, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's commentary, and he's writing these just like Chaitanya Charitamrita. You'll find Amrita Pravaha Bhasya, the summary of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary, and here it's 11 acharyas. In this chapter, Bharat Maharaj, now Jada Bharata, was successfully accepted by King Rahugana, ruler of so ruler of the state known as Sindhu and Savira. So interestingly, and the where this King Rahugana, where is he going? If I remember correctly, he's going to Kapila Ashram. If I remember correctly, he's going to Kapila Ashram. Kapila is him, the Lord Kapilas, and there's a purport also has that connection and point very much connected in that way. So Sindhu and Savira, the king forced Jadavarta to carry his palanquin and chastised him because he did not carry it properly. A carrier of King Rahugana's palanquin was needed, and to fulfill this need, the chief carriers found Jadavarta as the most likely person to do the work. He was therefore forced to carry the palanquin. Jadavarta, however, did not protest this proud order. See that this is tolerating. Matras Prasast Gonte Sitoshnas Kodukadagam Payan Tamsitiksha Bharat. Chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, verse number 14, if I remember correctly. Tolerate. Beginning itself, Krishna is not the later and beginning. But humbly accepted the job and carried the palanquin. While carrying it, however, uh, he was very careful to see that he did not step on an ant. So, Karunika, Titiksha, tolerating Karunika, very merciful, very compassionate, not only human being, but even to ant while walking, just like the Mrigari hunt. So Valmiki, how he became one, Valmiki was very careful next time. Initially, he was not, he was killing half dead animals, but this time when he came, Narada Muni, after he received the instruction, he chanted the mantra and followed the process of Narada Muni. Then this time he was very careful, even to ant he doesn't want to kill. He was jumping, he was not walking. Uh, so that is exactly the same thing is happening here also, because he is also exalted person. He could understand, and whenever he saw one, he would stop until the ant had passed. Because of this, he could not keep pace with the other carriers. The king within the palanquin, Rahugana, became very disturbed and chastised Jadabartha with filthy language. But Jadabartha, being completely freed from the bodily conception, mm, bodily consumption, where we are, yeah, and did not protest. He proceeded carrying the palanquin. When he continued as before, the king threatened him with punishment. Still, even then, being threatened by the king, Jatabartha began to talk. Then he wants to give mercy. He didn't give mercy to father many. He gave mercy to dacoit. Now he's going to give mercy to the person who's chastising him left and right. He's going to punish him. He's giving mercy. See, sadhu's mercy can be sometimes bewildering, isn't it? There we are. On being threatened by the king, Jatabartha began to talk. He protested against the filthy language used by the king when the king chastised him. And the king, then he started to slowly realize, King Rahuna, this must not be this ordinary person. The way he started talking. Hearing the instruction of Jatabartha was awakened to his real knowledge, King Rahuna. When he came to his consciousness, he understood that he had offended a great, learned, saintly person. At that time, he very humbly and respectfully prayed to Jatabartha. How he now wanted to understand the deep meaning of the philosophical words used by Jatabartha, and with great sincerity, he begged his pardon. So this is also very important. Sattvanikama susamikshamana. Tolerating and resentment are yeah, for the mistakes, for the offenses, for anything we do, we should always repent for it and ask for forgiveness. And exactly the same thing is doing, because unknowingly we might have done it. So not understanding the other person's position. He admitted that because these can cause the conflict, or these kind of things can cause because of assumptions also many times. We may assume things within the family life also. Partners, we assume things in certain way and we look at externally. So the person, the item, many things, the way they We assume things and then immediately we come to conclusion. That could happen with Vaishnavas, that could happen even with Guru. And we look at, we assume things and come to conclusion and say something, do something. And then automatically it becomes offensive and then it can cause a great conflict. So that's have to be careful. He admitted that if one offends the lotus feet of a pure devotee, is certainly punished by the trident of Lord Shiva. So, see that. So, because he's the Vaishnavana Methos and topmost devotee. So, now we'll read 1 and 2. 1 doesn't have purport, if you remember. Yeah, that's a 1 and 2. Verse number 1, Sukadev Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So that is where we are. Ata Sindhu Savirapate Rahu Ganasya Vrajata Ikshumatyastate Tatkula Patina Sibi Kavaha Purusha Anveshana Samaye. They lost one of the carrier. They were tired. They were searching for somebody who can carry his palanquin. So that time they found this Bharat Maharaj. Daivena Upasadita, somehow or other by the mercy of the Lord, they found this Dvija Vara, means the greatest. So Dvijottama, Dvijavara. Sa Dvijavara Upalabdha Esha Piva Yuva Samhanango Go Karavad Duram Vodam Alam Iti Purva Visti Grahita Saha Grahita Prasabham Atat Araham Bhuvaha Sibikam Sa Mahanubhava. Translation by Divine Jayasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, after this, King Rahugana, ruler of states known as Sindhu and Savira, was going to Kapilashtam. See, that's why the instruction from Kapila is very apt. When the king's chief palanquin carriers reached the banks of the river Ikshumati, they needed another carrier. Therefore, they began searching for someone. And by chance, they come upon Jadabharata because he looked like very stout and strong and seems to be ordinary externally. They considered the fact that Jadabharata was very young and strong and had firm limbs. Like cows and asses, he was quite fit to carry loads. Thinking in this way, the great soul, although the great soul Jadabharata was unfit for such work, they nonetheless unhesitatingly forced him to carry the palanquin. But Bharat Maharaj didn't object or obstruct. He tolerated and took up. So, Yada hi Dvija, verse number 2. Varaseshu matra avalokana anugate na samahita purusha gatis tada vishama gatam swasivikam rahu gana upadarya purushan adi vahata ah he wo adhar sadhu adikramata sadhu. Bharat Maharaj is sadhu. Even though they crossed their line and they chastised him whatnot, still he was very tolerant. Iti vishamam yate yanam iti, but now he wants to give mercy. As it continues, translation by Prabhupada. The palanquin, however, was very erratically carried by Jadabharata due to his sense of non-violence. This is there, the 64 items, or first 14, 10, 12 items, or 10 items, first is there, not giving pain to any living entity. Not only human beings, not only friend, not only devotee, but even other living entities. As he stepped forward, he checked before him every 3 feet to see whether he was about to step on ants. Consequently, he could not keep pace with the other carriers. Due to this, the palanquin was shaking, and King Rahugana immediately asked the carriers, why are you carrying this palanquin unevenly? Better carry it properly. He went on chastising. Next verses you will see further. The palanquin, however, was very carefully, very erratically carried by Jadabharata due to his sense of non-violence. So basically, he was tolerant, he was compassionate. He didn't care about his pain to his body because the language, whatever, he rather, it's because just like Hanuman want to serve the Lord, he didn't care about, on the way many things can happen, some glorification, some obstructions, whatever could happen. Is only just one thought he has how to fulfill the desire of the Lord, how to do that service properly with great absorption and intensity. Then only you can actually relish, you can taste the bliss. If you are intensely absorbed in one mission, in serving, just doing that one service with great intention, great absorption. That is very much required, whether it's chanting, hearing, and tolerate also comes with it. If you can't tolerate, then you can't become absorbed and intense in that. It's not possible. So one has to, because many things will go on near us and surrounded by us day in day out. If we tolerate, then because then only we can do this real important things. Otherwise, these other things will block us on the way. So then we won't be able to taste the bliss. So that is a very important thing to consider for us. Consequently, he could not keep pace with other carriers. Due to this, the palanquin was shaking, and King Ravana immediately asked the carriers, "Why are you carrying this palanquin unevenly? Better carry it properly." That will start chanting the song first, because this is the point as well. Because this tolerate, how will you learn this tolerate? How will you learn submission? How will you develop this quality? Only way you can do that if you get the mercy from the sadhu Vaishnava. If you are in the taking that association seriously, somehow or the other, you grab onto their mercy, their association, their service, their vani, then naturally we can. That's a Bhaktivinoda Thakur is submitting. I don't have it. You have Krishna. You have Krishna's mercy. You give it to me. Only you can give it. I'm going to run behind you, and then you have to give me. Please put your lotus feet on my head. Is submitting. So many verses are. This is one of them. हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर ये दासे करुणा कोरी दिय पादाचाया सुदहे अमाया तुम्हार चरण धोरी चय बेगा दोमी चय दो साधोदी चय गुण देहो धासे जय सत्संगा देहो हे हमारे बोसेची संगेर आसे एकाकी हमारा नाही पाया बाला हरिनामा संकीर्तने तुम्ही कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम धाने कृष्ण से तुम्हार कृष्ण दीते पार तुम्हार से प्रति आचे वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लास्ट वन अमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली दाई तव पाचे पाचे running behind their lotus feet. Oh, Venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, oh ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify it. That's why we run behind. So all the pure devotees, not all sampradayas, Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnava. So we run behind Hanuman, Sadasiv, Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Jesus Christ, Prophet. All these are great devotees. We always pray so that we develop those qualities. We understand who is Lord. Who is this Lord? You're describing so much beauty, attractiveness. So we don't know. So we never saw it. So we have to learn from them. I hold on to their feet. Teach me to control my six passions. Otherwise, it's not possible. They have to teach and they have to give mercy. Then only we can learn this. Rectify my six faults. Bestow upon me the six qualities. Offer unto the six kinds of holy association. You know what is being talked about here? Verse number 4 from Nectar of Instruction. Dadati pratigrunnati guhyam akati puchati bunjate bojate sadvita prita lakshana. Accepting the food from others, prasad, and then inviting them and we feeding them, accepting the gifts and giving gifts to them, to devotees and the Lord also, but devotees, sadhus and guru and whatnot, and as well, giving gifts and also exchanging confidentially what's going on with our life, what sadhana and many things, and then also hearing from them confidentially. So those are the six exchanges which increases bhakti, enhances bhakti. That we have to do regularly, not once in a while. Okay, in the beginning, but later on, gradually, we have to increase that pace. So that will actually, we can relish. Madashraya kata mrishta madgata chetasa vividais tapa. What is the last line? I forget. This is in Kapila Siksha only, 325, verse number some 30 something. Madashraya kata mrishta. One takes shelter of the Lord and Lord's devotee. Madgata chetasa. His consciousness is fully absorbed in that, then Vividesh Tapa, all kinds of miseries, everything becomes removed and becomes destroyed. Then he will become so peaceful and he will start tasting the bliss. Mm. That's what it is. That's why he's requesting. Rectify my six faults and six qualities. Bestow upon me the six qualities and offer me the six kinds of Kama, Krodha, Lauva, Mada, Moha, Matsari. All these things are there. So that is an important thing. I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. Alone, nothing is possible. That's why we need lots of association. So, as Lord Shiva has given to Prachetas, as Hanuman is giving, so with along with others, other monkeys, they marched upon to carry out the Lord's instructions. Always, one point Jamban glorifying Hanuman, he was reminded what is strength and power. So many things. You need always need association. When our Lord is not alone, and pure devotee is not alone either. So they're always, as Ananta Dev is speaking, for Kumaras are there, Narada Muni, they're always hearing. All these associates of the Lord, they're always hearing in another association, whether it's Sivas Thakur, Gaur Lila, or so always you will see that they are in the Sutta Goswami speaking to Samarkand in Naimisharanya. So Gurudeva Goswami speaking in the bank of Ganga in Vrindavan. So to Parikshit Maharaj, like that is always our Lord Shiva speaking to other sages with his wife on his lap. So all these are, we can clearly see that this is not in from one person. So many pure devotees, this is what they do regularly every day. They are in bliss and they want to give that bliss to everybody else, not keep it to themselves. So please bless me by giving me just one drop of faith with which to obtain the treasure of the holy name of Krishna. That's what it describes me. That in Vrindavan, these pastimes are going on now also. Yeah, it's not that time we know the pastime from Gaur Leela, Ram Leela, Krishna Leela, all these Narsingha Leela from Satyuga to Kali Yuga. And these four pastimes are there and we know. We are hearing it. These are authentic. These are the pastimes which has happened. It's not story. It's not mythology. Even now it happens. Whatever Chota Haridas Thakur, what happened in Gaur Leela, which is from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he instructed. And he did it, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, yes, he's singing for me. He went back home, back to God. Exact same thing happened. So, and Vishnu Jan Maharaj asked the same question as Chota Haridas to Sri Prabhupada, and Prabhupada exactly gave the same answer. Yes, what you said is right. That's what uh, the Prabhupada didn't thought he was going to take seriously, and he did seriously. And then they asked Prabhupada, what happened to Vishnu Jan? And then Prabhupada started talking about, yes, he's very, he became very advanced, just like the Mahaprabhu told. And next time they asked, then Prabhupada, yes, he's chanting for me. So, so exactly like Haridas Thakur. And another place, another time, Prabhupada told, yes, he went back home, back to God. That is exactly Sri Mahaprabhu told. So that's these pastimes not that time only, now also it's happening. So, yes, with Jnani Vas Prabhu, Jnananda Prabhu. So many tasted the bliss. That's why they could carry on morning to evening. They could carry on the services. They're always happy. Their face is smiling. They're always serving. They're not tired. Anything. They're carried on their mission whole life. Some of them are grahasthas, some of them are sannyasis, some are brahmacharis, some are IT workers, some are non-IT, some are businessmen. There is no hindrance. Any of these is not a hindrance to taste the bliss, to experience it. Or they could be Babajis. Yesterday was explained. Just like Hanuman absorbed intense in service, then they could also absorb. Now so many are there. I was talking about Siddha Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Madhusudan Babaji Maharaj. And now they tested. While living here in this planet, they are entering into the pastimes of the Lord. But they are humble also at the same time. So they're not publicizing everywhere. Confidentially sharing to their disciple. But yeah, they could enter Manasi Ganga pastime. They are giving the fragrance to Radha and Krishna. And suddenly, because they're captivated by the beauty, Syamam Hiranya Pariti, Vanamalya Maradhatu, Praval, Natavesam, Anupratams, Mukhabjahasam, when the Dvijapatnis went to take the food as cohort boys are hungry. Then when they saw the Lord, they saw what a beauty that is. They are completely captured. They didn't want to go home. So please keep us here. We'll stay here. We will not come to your home. We'll stay here. We'll stay in the forest. We'll see every day. So you all, your pastimes. But Lord sent back at that time, they were describing the Lord's beauty. So these great devotees are ecstatic in bliss because they are tasting that beautiful form of the Lord. They are here in the holy name, the service. So that's why they are so much intense in bliss. At the same time, they are very humble. The Japatnis are also very humble in their submission. So that's the Lord said, don't worry, go home. I will make sure they will be transformed also. And that's what happened when they went home. All the husbands, they didn't chastise, they didn't say anything. Rather, they were happy. Actually, we realized what you did is correct. We are so ignorant. We are simply chanting these mantras and doing some yajna. We didn't realize the essence. Now we have realized. Thank you for doing that. So because Paramatma is there, and these devotees did so humble, then naturally Lord gives that inspiration. So that's what happened to these two Babajis also. They were able to enter in the pastime. That fragrance fell down, captivated by the beauty. You have to be captivated with something. Prasadam or holy name or beauty of the Lord. Multiple things is better because we are captivated by multiple things in the material world. So that's why if more we are captivated by the multiple things, at least more than one, then it helps us to be, then senses naturally we tolerate it, naturally we stay on the path very, so very closely and very attentively we'll be able to do. More the more we are attracted to material things but not attracted with positive spiritual things related to the Lord and Lord's devotee, then naturally mm, we won't taste it. We won't be able to taste it. We won't be able to relish it. We'll do mechanically, but we can't relish it. For that, you need those devotees who are absorbed in that bliss. Constantly you associate, you confidently discuss, you share it, always in that. Then you can start to taste the bliss. And you will receive also lots of blessings. By that, we can start to taste. Otherwise, it's not possible. So these Babajis are staying there in Vrindavan and practicing it and associating and so serving. So that's why they were able to enter. They captivated the beauty, and then that fragrance fell down into Manasi Ganga. Then next thing they know that by the time this disciple coming and asking Babaji where you are, because the others are asking what happened. He didn't come out, he didn't eat. Whole day days are going by. Then it broke. Then they come here. Manasi Ganga water is so smelly today, so fragrant today. We don't know what has happened. Then he could understand. Oh, it's not only in dream; it's also happening now. So in presence. Yeah, this is what happened. Another time of the holy color pastime was happened. Nauka Vihar. So we'll touch upon that pastime also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chapter number Antilila, chapter 14, 15, or 19, 19 maybe. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so much intense in ecstasy when he saw the river and Yamuna river. He thought this is um, the Mahodadi in Jagannath Puri. He thought this ocean is Yamuna. Then he jumped into it. So intense separate. He was supposed to be in the room sleeping. They locked him up, but he was not there. He jumped into that ocean, and the whole night he was there. All his limbs were elongated and everything. He was intense. Then immediately he went to the pastime. So the Mahaprabhu is in the pastime of Radha and Krishna. They're together with all the so many gopis. The Nauka Vihar pastime they were playing. Then the exchange of things when they came out from there, then picnic started. So Srimati Radharani made so many items, so many sweets, so many items, so many types of fruits. All the fruits are described: oranges, tangerine, santra. It is written santra, Maharashtra. We call santra. Orange and santra is two different things. It's not the same thing, even though it's the same brother sister branch, but it's not the same thing. It has a different taste, different flavor to it. Pomegranates, many fruits are described, and many sweets are described. Yeah, we have to learn these things. We have to understand. Some of the recipes are there. Yeah, you have to concentrate. We have to hear with attention and you have to observe. You have to do some research. Yes, nothing is possible. First time I heard Achyuta Sak in Chaitanya Bhagavat from my Guru Maharaj. Then I thought, what is this Achyuta Sak? We have so many saks, so many spinach, so many leaves. How do we know? Then I was researching somehow or the other, I found it. I googled it and then different videos, recipe. I thought it's red leaves. That's what I thought. But then I was searching and then I searched in Chetan Charitamrita and further studying and it came to the same point that it is red leaves actually. the Achyuta Sag they call. So that's what we have to do. Some of them things we can find, some of the things we can't find. Like Manohar Laddu and Krishna ate. Krishna likes certain things. What Srimad Radharani makes out of many things, he likes certain things. Some are favorite. Those we have to find out. Some recipes are there, some are other. So then we have to start thinking and making it for the pleasure of the Lord. And this is how we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Otherwise, how will we do it? Only through the Acharya's mercy, then the whole spiritual world will be open for us. What happens there? What pastimes are there? What items are being offered? What dresses they are wearing? What flowers are there? What kind of decoration they do? What Vrunda Devi is doing? How is she arranging? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into this pastime. Vrunda Devi is arranging, gopis are arranging, serving with these various fruits and sweets, and Lord Krishna is relishing, and all others are relishing. Everybody is in great bliss. This can happen here also. We simply follow in the association of devotees, then we will taste the bliss. May not be at that level, at least some level. At Bhava Bhakti, we can taste just like Bharat Mala is tasting. That's why we could tolerate. He didn't react to every situation like we do because he's operating on the permanent senses. That is the point. That's why we need to take the mercy of the holy man. Holy associate. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant running behind the shouting, Krishna, Krishna. That is the point. Now we'll look at this verse as it is mentioned here. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, then we'll touch upon other things. Although Jadabartha was forced to carry the palanquin, he did not give up his symptomatic feelings toward the poor ants passing on the road. This is what we have to do. A devotee of the Lord does not forget his devotion service and other favorable activities. Is very absorbed. So that's why even if somebody chastises, somebody obstructs, somebody does many things, then he moves on because his service is in the first priority. Somehow or other, that has to happen, that has to be done very nicely, very diligently, very carefully, very lovingly. So that's why as much as possible, he will tolerate as much as possible. Or he will tell that devotee, please excuse me for this time, or say something nicely, politely, and moves on because the service cannot be slacked. Even when he is in a most distressful condition, Jadabartha was a qualified Brahmana, highly elevated in spiritual, yet he was forced to carry the palanquin. He did not mind this, but while walking on the road, he could not forget his duty to avoid killing even an ant. That's why Prabhupada explains. We're coming to that point, then we'll come. A Vaishnava is never envious or unnecessarily violent to any living entity, not only human being, not only devotee, anybody. There were many ants on the path, but Jadabartha took care by looking ahead 3 feet. When the ants were no longer in his way, he would place his foot on the ground. A Vaishnava is always very kind. This is verse 325, 26, I think. Titiksha Karunika, very kind means Karunika, very merciful. Karunika, Suhruda Sarvadehina. This is the point. Whenever Prabhupada quotes, you have to remember the verse. If you don't know, you search it in Vedabase, you will find it. And then understand what does it mean. Because Prabhupada can't put all the purports in it. So many things may come related to it. He cannot put everything. When he says it, that means you have to refer it. Then we have to know it. If you don't know, we have to know it. What does it mean? What do I have to do? This is what Prabhupada calls it scrutinizingly reading, submissively, sufficiently hearing. This is what it means. When we hear something, we have to do some research. We have to do something. It's not simply hearing, I will go home, then same thing will happen and nothing, no changes will happen in our life. No changes will happen because we're not doing anything about it. So after hearing certain things we have to do, certain things we have to contemplate, certain things we have to put in practice. Slowly, gradually, we have to do 1%, 2% gradual. To the degree we do, then slow. To that degree we will get the bliss. To that degree, material life adjusted. Everything will automatically happen. Everything wonderful will happen. So that is the point. We have to take it here. Surya God to all living entities in his Sankhya Yoga, Lord Kapil Dev explains Suhrada Savadehina, Ajata Sitro Santo Sadhu Bhushan. Now we'll jump there and then we'll come back here. So because we have to understand that first thing we have to understand is here Nishreyasaya. Nishreyasaya means permanent. Sreya and Preya. Preya is temporary and Sreya is permanent. And Prabhupada gives wonderful example in this only Canto 3, chapter 25. I think verse number 13. Yeah. Yoga Atma Adhyatmiko Pumsam. Yoga Adhyatmiko Pumsam. Mato me nishreyasaya. So it's telling that permanent. Nishreyasaya means permanent thing. This is the real yoga. Kapila is instructing Mother Devu that the real yoga is where we are banking on the permanent senses, not on the temporary pleasure, but permanent. What does that look like? Prabhupada gives example. Is just like as a child, I used to not go to school. So my father was okay, but my father was okay. My mother was pushing. How can he stay at home? Then uh, she has to somehow force me into school. So similarly, but we are attracted to sports and be with the friends, and that happens to us also. Many of us might have done that similar thing in our childhood, playing cricket or whatnot, not going home, not studying. So many things for many reasons. Similar thing, proposition. This is what temporary, but after certain time, it will happen sometime. Then after certain time, then we will not do that anymore. Now we'll go to school. Exactly in time, no more playing, no more, so doing that things. That is permanent. Temporary thing is, not going to school and playing. But permanent thing is, now we understood somehow the other, either mother forcing or parent, father or somebody is doing, helping us. So then we move in the right direction. Same way, the senses here temporarily we're trying to enjoy here, do this, do that, so many things in this material we're trying to grab on. But actually, permanent thing is there, that is in the spiritual world. That's why these sadhus are coming to tell us, hey, what are you doing here? This is all temporarily you're trying to grab onto it and trying to think that this is a great enjoyment. No, 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 this is not the real enjoyment. You come here and taste it. I'm going to give you, I'm going to explain you, I'm going to show you and taste it. Then think about it, meditate, contemplate, you try it, experience it, realize it, and then you will know what it is. Then you will come back to the spiritual world. If you take my association and you understand and follow it through, that is exactly the point here. Because the sadhu is such a tolerant and very merciful. One should submit like exactly like Mother Devut is submitted. So that's why it's a Nivedana Dharu. Nivedana means it's great submission and with great tolerating all other things. Now we'll look at that verse with that context I have given. So this is the point. See, Prabhupada, what Prabhupada writing. So 25:30 in the class. When beginning only, not later. 1968, very beginning. They have no idea. No books were printed at that time. Prabhupada is giving the class and explaining these things, very simplifying, very simplifying these things. And here, Nishreyas, ultimate end, what is writing? See that. Shreya and Preya. Preya is permanent? No, Shreya. Yes, but Shreya means permanent. Preya means temporary thing. So, generally, conditions hold they are attached with immediate pleasing things. Just like children, they are attracted to playing things more than education. They did not like to go to school. They like to play whole day. In my childhood, also, I was putting. I was very naughty boy. I was not going to school, and my mother kept a special man to drag me to school. Yeah, this happens. With me also, I remember. I used to sleep very early, 6:37. Then my mother had to keep another tuition for me. So that even in the seventh class. So, yes, so we do things what to do. Somebody has to grab us. At that time, there was no system like in your country. School buses, one had to go to school on foot. So my father was very lenient. So one may be lenient. My father was also like that, very lenient. My mother was strict. I was not going to school, prayer, pleasing. Children like to play. Similarly, there was two paths, Shreya and prayer. So Preya means sense gratitude. We have got our senses, material senses, is temporary senses. You like Prabhupada will explain later on. You'll see. And we want to satisfy them without any consideration. The sequence, the bad results, reactions. Basically, we are not considering that. So like itching sensation. Persons who are conditions in society, friendship, and love, this is the attraction for material life. Society, friendship, love, they think divinely bestowed upon a man. But that is not that. It is not divinely bestowed upon man. From the spiritual point of view, it is gift of Maya. So society, friendship, love is a gift of Maya illusion. Actually, society with which we associate and friendship which we make here and so-called love, how long? Now supposing I am now in human society, how long I shall remain in human society? I am preparing for my next life or the next society. I may be transferred to dog society. I may transfer to God society. That will depend on my work. So whatever we do, because this life is not all in all. Next life continuing. So we like the society friend. Oh, I do not know how many intimate friendship I had, but those are now just like a dream. Everything finished. Now I am making new friendship. Now in COVID, so many things are happening. So many, leaving the planet and whatnot. With your countrymen, with your younger boys of this country, I have forgotten the friendship which I made the whole life in India. So this friendship, this love, this society, this country, everything illusion, just like a dream. At night we dream, oh, I have been made a king, and in the morning everything is finished. So we should not be attached to these temporary attractions. We admit these are temporary attractions, but we are still just like a children. So now we're coming to the point. Similarly, here is the point. Similarly, the scriptures, the sages, saintly person, devotees, representative of Krishna, God, they're very much anxious to take us back home, back to God, back home. You understand the point? Just as much as our mother, father wanted us to go to school, similarly, these sages are telling, sages, Sadasiv, Hanuman, Sri Prabhupada, Jesus Christ, all, you could add all of them. Mahajanas, 12 Mahajans, add all of them. All of them, what is their business? They wanted us to go to real school, where in the spiritual world. That is what they want us to do. That's what Prabhupada is writing. Understand that. They are very much anxious to take us back home, back to Godhead. This is Nishreyasaya. That is the ultimate benediction. To be enamored with temporary society, friendship, and love. And it has become a thankless task for the saintly person, devotees of God. That's the verse used also in this particular great Lord Shiva. Known as Shiva Panta. Is very auspicious. Is giving the path of pure devotion. So, in one of the verses in this particular chapter also. Oh, please come here. Please chant Hare Krishna. Please be Krishna conscious. Please be God conscious. Nobody likes it. They think it is botheration. Why Swamiji comes here and bother us? But it has become the business. So initially, as it looks like that. Why is he telling me to wake up? Why is he telling me to chant? Why is he telling me to come to temple? So many things. It simply becomes botheration. Yes, initially, what to do? Yes, somebody has to drag us under the lotus feet of the Lord. Just like mother and father, friend, or somebody did it for us in our life. That's why we are here, getting a job and working, maintaining our family and home and car and whatnot. If somebody wouldn't have done that, then we wouldn't be here in the first place. The great quality is knows by on how great he is, grateful he is, and is sharing that greatness to others. Gratitude for that person whole life and sharing that greatness with others also. He's not keeping for himself because he has received. Now he has to do something to give it to others. So that is a great quality one has to continue. So therefore, the qualification of saintly person is titikshva, very tolerant, just like the Jesus Christ. See, Prabhupada doesn't just is not only we are the only sampradaya. No, all these four bona fide sampradaya, all the bona fide acharyas, we are repeating what Lord is telling. So they're all bona fide. So he was crucified, still he was so tolerant that he, at the time of crucifixion, is praying to God, my Lord, these people do not know what they are doing. So that's the same thing with Haridas Thakur. Same with so many exalted person. So they tolerate, just like as much as Lord Shiva tolerated when Uttarasura said that, then how could you keep your wife on the lap and speaking to sages? Is unheard of, unseen of. He didn't mind. He was laughing. Because why? Yes, because he knows. So he's simply concentrating on his service of speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. His intention is right. His consciousness is right. So why he will not be bothered? So he didn't take it. Mother Parvati took it. That's the secondary thing. So that's why we have to understand these things. Not know what are they doing. Please forgive them. Just see how much tolerant Titiksha. This is the first qualification of saintly person. So this is the same qualification we have to learn. It's not going to be easy. At least we have to start the toleration at home first, with our own family and kids and friends and devotees, and then gradually everybody else. Yeah, it becomes much. It becomes so happy. If you practice it slowly, it takes time. But if you practice it, we become so happy. Nothing will bother us at that time. Then chanting, everything will be so nice. So you can taste something. स्वाद कुछ मिलेगा. अभी तो कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. So, yeah, yes. If you want to taste the some bliss, then we have to associate with those associates of the Lord. Then we can start to taste this bliss. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is something like that. You have it, you give it to me. Otherwise, this is not possible. I'm going to run behind you. Um, Very tolerant. They have to push on their Krishna conscious movement or God conscious movement through so many arts, So many arts, because they are just like the child, is attracted with playthings, and same thing is happening. This is the verse I was telling you about. Yeah. Yoga Adhyatmika Pumsam. The real yoga is relation between the Lord and the living entity. Mato, this is my mat, this is my opinion, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Radha and Krishna's worship. Nishreyasaya. Yoga system means to lead one to the ultimate benediction. Adhyatmika means pertaining to the soul. This is the real thing. Look at the verse. This is the verse. Hold on, somebody is doing the coloring. Atyanta, this is the point. Complete detachment. What will happen? Why should I take this path? He's telling, Lord is telling, Lord Kapila, Atyanta Uparatir Yatra. Uparatir means greater. That is Arati. We heard that song, thing. Rati, Arati. When we watch darshan, what does it mean? This Uparati means all the complete detachment will happen. If you do it with great observance, if it is only just touching the some flame and then putting it to the head mechanically, theoretically, then we can't feel these things. But if you are in the association of devotees and hear, then you can relish it. Just like the person yesterday, somebody was singing nicely, simple and very sweet, with a great absorption. Then you can relish it. One is just we have heard this Hare Krishna, then you can relish it. Even though it is nicely sung, one cannot relish it. Only we can relish it, have that proper consciousness, then you can relish this kirtan. So in that association with hundreds of devotees chanting and dancing, then when you see the Lord, it becomes even more beautiful. When you alone are there, when you see it, then you will not feel that the same ecstasy. So that's why we need association as well. So what will happen? Atyanta operative, great, intense, whatever attachment you have, everything becomes completely detached. Yatra, dukkasya, sukhasya, both happiness, distress, both will go away automatically. And the ultimate happiness will come. Temporary happiness also will go away. The yoga system, which relates to the Lord and individual soul, which is meant for the ultimate benefit of living entity, which causes detachment from all happiness and distress in this material. This is the highest yoga. That's the Uparatir, you see the translation. Detachment, complete. Atyanta upar, complete detachment will happen. That's why we have to pay attention here. Now look at the verse. So which is talked about here, 26 and many verses, the very important verses. Yeah, this is 21, which is quoted here. Titiksha Karunika Suraj Sarvadehinam Ajata Sitra Santa Sadhu Sadhu Bhushan. This is the quality we have to slowly, gradually develop. If you're in the association of practicing it regularly, then you can develop it slowly. You pay attention. The symptoms of Sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entities, he has no enemies, he is peaceful, he abides by scripture, and his characters are sublime. She always thinks about this, we have told many times. Etavad janma safalyam dehinam hrideshu pranayar daya vacha de acharanam sada. This is Lord Krishna is instructing in 10th canto, 25th chapter. So Prabhupada, because I have read it, I have looked at these, many of the chapters and cantos. But when it comes from the lips of a pure devotee, you hear it sufficiently, you hear it again and again, then it sticks into the heart, sticks into the brain. Otherwise, it doesn't stick like that. So because I heard from Prabhupada, Prabhupada gave this lecture on this particular verse. When I read it repeatedly, then I understood. Otherwise, general casual reading will do, but we don't even remember. I read it, but I don't remember. But when it came from Prabhupada, then I can remember. I can relate to exactly what it means. So that's why we have to pay attention to each and every Prabhupada class. What classes he gave, whatever is the most important, significant things, he has given classes on that. If you observe also, this is a Lord's arrangement. So he has given on Kapila Siksha, he's given Nectar Devotion, he has given on Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sanatan Siksha, many important things. He has given classes, which where we have to pay attention to as well. The more we hear like that, then we can naturally feel everything, whatever Prabhupada is feeling. These, where we are. Be Krishna conscious, be a devotee of Lord Krishna, don't spoil your life, simply fulfilling your bad behavior. Human life is meant for self-realization. Krishna consciousness, these are the preachings of a sadhu. He's not satisfied with his own liberation. He always thinks about others. So that is this is our duty. Whatever we got, a little bit only. Maybe we may not have so much. Okay, give it to share with others, whether it's prasadam or which is whatever you are getting, something you are getting, so that you share with others. Because somebody has shared with us, so we should do something also. And that will actually help us, our heart to be softened, and then heart will start crying. It's for the Lord and the devotees. That will happen. So if you do that, because that's what Lord says, this is the dearmost thing. Somebody shares about what is receiving to others. about me, my glories, then they will become the dearmost. Lord will come to make note. Each time we do that, even though it's a simple thing, He is going to make a note of all those things. Then that much is going to give, even more and more is going to give energy, strength, materialness, everything. He will be adjusted and arranged. Because Lord is making note how much we are really becoming, trying to become dear to Him, to please Him, how much we are doing. According to that degree, we'll go on doing many, many things in our life. So that's why we have to do those things first. To that level, today also we are going to do distribution of books. Anybody available, please let me know. So somebody may ill-treat him, just like Rahugana is being ill-treated here, but what does he care? He doesn't care, because the conditioned soul are not prepared to receive transcendental knowledge or devotion. They do not like it. That is their disease. The sadhu has a thankless task of immersing upon them importance of devotion service. So sometimes the devotees are attacked, yeah, as Mayapur attacked, and so many. Prabhupada was attacked verbally also. Yeah, big pandal, in front of so many people. But Prabhupada was tolerant. He didn't utter a single thing sometimes. Yeah, he accepted there. Yes, we'll go and preach in Pakistan. So, yeah, many things, because he knows exactly how to respond to the situation. This is also an important verse. So, this is what earlier I was talking. Madashreya katamrushta sranvanti katayanti cha tapanti vidayastapa naita madgata chetasa. This is the sadhu's quality. Eagerly engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me. And sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are constantly absorbed in the Lord's. Because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. So that is required. That can only happen if you are in the association. If you are not in the association, then we won't be able to know how to do. And that's why the hearing is also mentioned in the same verse, same chapter. Very, very important. Then only it can happen. Otherwise, it's not possible. Satam prasangat mamavirism. Then no more birth, death, old age, disease. This will stop in this life only. Next life, you will enter into spiritual world, you will get the permanent senses, permanent mind, permanent intelligence, permanent consciousness. No more temporary. Happiness will go on every day. It will go on increasing. Otherwise, it cannot happen in this with these temporary senses. So that's why we have to hear in the association of the devotees. That is the point. In the association of two devotees. So many verses in this chapter. Everywhere this is being stressed so much. In the also again, see 26 repeatedly. So automatically, bhaktya. This is also very important verse. It becomes very easy. In the association, you can very easily feel. If you sit at home and chant, you will not feel it. But if you are in the association, you chant, then you will be inspired to do every day. As much as sometimes you may break. But if you continue to do that, after a few months and few years, then you will stay focused and chant every day without fail. Otherwise, it's not possible. Alone, not possible. That's why the Rujubir, very easy. When Bhaktya, Puman, Jat, Virag, automatically detachment, everything will happen. When Dushta, Srutan, Mad, Rachananu Chintaya. Mad Rachananu Chintaya. Chittasya Yato Grahane Yoga Yukto Itishyate Rujuvir Yoga Marg. Bhakti Yoga is easiest, and in that, in the association, if you do it, then natural, whatever you see, whatever you hear, and then all the material things, you will not be captivated by it. Any bit, even a little bit also, you will not be captivated by it. That's why this chapter is so important. Everything is so important. From especially 25 to 30, 20 to 35. Seventh verse is important. 7, 13. Some of the verses are very crisp. How she is submitting. You see that this is a submission means we have to know from Mother Devotee. The way she submits is the how she submits. Very sick of the disturbance caused by material senses, my material senses. For because of the sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen to the abyss of ignorance. So she's she's submitting like anything in this word. That's a proper. This is what it means. The words we read and this connected. Asad Indriya Tarshana. Indriya means senses. Asad means impermanent, temporary senses. This is what is happening with us right now. So we have to come to Sad Indriya. So Tarshanat, you have to replace with this spiritual word here. So then naturally bliss will come. Instead of this happening, the misery or disturbance, then naturally will start taking. See this Prabhupada writing. This is all I'm repeating what I'm hearing from Prabhupada only. See this is what the Prabhupada writing. The permanent senses. That means this is spiritual only you get permanent senses. That's why whatever you have now, everything is there, but is not in the perverted. It is in its original consciousness, original senses, original mind, original intelligence. Everything is there, but not in this way, the way we have. So that is the problem. The permanent senses being contaminated by matter are not doing acting properly. Devotion service therefore involves freeing the senses from this contamination. When the contamination is completely removed and the senses act in the purity of unalloyed Krishna consciousness, we have reached Sat Indriya. That is Sat Indriya. Eternal sensory activities are called devotion service, whereas temporary are called sense gratification. Unless one becomes tired of material sense gratification, there is no opportunity to hear transcendental message from a person like Lord Kapila. That's why it is so important. Now we'll refer to Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we can understand until 18th chapter, see what is happening here. What is the pastime Lord is in? Why it is so beauty and ecstatic? So 105. Before that, 105. We have to read the first verse. The beauty is explained why Lord is in intense operation when he's looking at the Lord's Sarajosna Sindho Rava Kalanaya Jata Yamuna Brahmadavan Yo Asmin Hari Viraha Tapad Nava Eva निमग्नो मुच्चालपयसि निवसन् रात्रिम् अखिलम् प्रभाते प्राप्त स्वैरवतु सा शशि सोनो इहना. This line also make a note. This is a blessing. Who is giving? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. Who is saying? Krishnadas Kaviraj. Avatu means protection. This is what we have to know. We have to use it. We have to tell somebody else. We have to offer these kind of prayers. Avatu sa sachi sono rihana. In this world, next world, you will be protected. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu protect us from all the onslaught of Maya and then bring us back to this Sarat Josna Sindhor. See, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is like a moon, rising moon, giving the happiness and bliss and sweetness, cooling shade. So this is what is happening. Krishnadas Kaviraj writes beautiful verses. Like this first verse of the beginning of the chapter is so beautiful. In the brilliant autumn moonlight, Sri Chaitanya mistook the sea for river Yamuna and he jumped. The whole night he was there. Fisherman has to catch him next day. Greatly afflicted by separation from Krishna, he ran and dove into the sea and remained unconscious in the water the entire night. Then we can be also, if you are absorbed in association, we chant and follow the process, then we will also may not be in the ocean and river at home or a temple, wherever we may be, or traveling, you can still feel certain bliss, some kind of bliss. Otherwise, not possible. In the morning, he was found by his personal devotees. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi Sunu, protect us by his transcendental pastimes. So that is the point. Now we'll come to that 150th verse because time is short. We have to cover beautiful pastime that we can understand what is his dream, what is his pastime. So we can also do something about it. Here. Third 150, 105, I think. Yeah. At home, no, before that, 1 hour. So much painting going on here. The go and see what they did. In Vrindavan, the trees and creepers are wonderful because throughout the entire year they produce all kinds of fruits and flowers. The gopis, maid servant in the bowers of Vrindavana, picked these fruits and flowers, brought them before Radha and Krishna. Add ourselves in this here. Okay, it's not only there. It's not just a story. This is for us to do something. The gopis peel all the fruits and place them together on large plates on the platform in a jeweled cottage. You can do it at home also to our level. They are doing at their level. We can do our level. They arrange the fruit in ordinary rows for eating. In front of it, they made a place to sit. That's what we put a cushion. At home, you can do whatever way is possible. But at temple, this is how we do as well. Among the fruits, make a note, there are many varieties of coconuts, mangoes. Even though coconut is simple, Mahaprabhu drinks all Bengali devotees like dog, coconut pulp, coconut anything from coconut juice, everything of coconut is offered. Whole coconut, green coconut, anything. They put in sabji also, but many things. That is South Indians do like that. But there in Bengal, also we also drink, but different ways. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked it here also. You see, mangoes, bananas, berries, all kinds of berries. Jackfruit is not only in US berries, I know there also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these are available. Jackfruits, dates, tangerines, oranges. I heard from Ekachakra Mahaprasadam is being sent because I have asked them, where is my Gaurpurna Prasad? Like last year or before year, I distributed. So hopefully they told dates are coming from Ekachakra. Let's see what happens. Everything we need blessings, then only we'll receive it. Even though they might have sent, we may not receive it. We have to pray for it and then we'll receive it. Tangerines, oranges, blackberries, santaras. This is santaras, grapes, almonds, all kinds of dried fruit. That is fruits business now. Further, there were cantaloupes, shirikas, palm fruits, keshuras, water fruits, lotus fruits, bales, pilus, pomegranates, many others. Some of them are variously known in different places, but in Vrindavan, all of them are always available in so many thousands of varieties that no one can fully describe. We might be attracted to these things, we might like it, our family like it. Now, next time you go, you see any of these things nice and fresh, and then you buy it, or think about the Lord and you buy it and desire it, and think about it, contemplate like that. And when you come home, first you offer to the Lord. You don't need to tell your family members, and then you tell them, "This is a nice fruit. You like it, right? You taste it." So they don't need to know anything what you did, how you brought it, how you purchased. They don't need to know any of that. If they are conscious of it, then you can tell them. Otherwise, you don't need to tell all these things, background things. So at home, Srimad Radharani had made various types of sweetmeats from milk and sugar. This is what I was telling. We need to learn some of the things. I'm going to look at it. Please, you also look at it because a lot of help is needed. One person cannot do everything. So Prabhupada expected all of us to cooperate and serve because this is our business, is to serve Radha and Krishna, Gaurnitai, and pure devotees. So, such as Ganga Jal, these are all sweets. It's not Ganga Jal is not just water. No, these are all sweets. Names are there like this. Amruta Keli, banana also called Amruta Keli. No, here it's not that. It is the sweet. Everything is sweet here. Piyosha Granthi, Karpura Keli, Sara Puri is not Puri. Amruti, Padma Chini, I heard before, but I haven't researched. Now I have to research now. Kanda, Kshiri Sara Vruksha, she had them, brought them all for Krishna. This is, so this is what every day is happening. And Krishna is a very nice arrangement of food. This is what, if we also arrange in our capacity as much as possible, what will Krishna will be very pleased. Just as much as he is pleased here in this pastime, that can happen to us also. Then we can taste the bliss food, he happily sat down and had a forest picnic. Then, after Srimad Radharani and the Gopi friend partook of remnant, Radha and Krishna lay down together in the jeweled house. Some of the gopis fanned Radha and Krishna. Others massaged their feet. Some fed them betel leaves to chew. When Radha and Krishna fell asleep, the go also lay down. When I saw this, my mind was very happy. Suddenly, all of you created a great tumult and picked me up and brought me back here. Basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was awakened by all these disturbance because Sarup Damodar Goswami all came with devotees. Where did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go? So then they found the fisherman becoming mad. And that is the pastime we are talking about here. So then why he became masked, ghostly haunted? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he picked up Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the net, fish net. In the ocean. That's what happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling, you all disturbed my, I was in a dream. I was in this pastime and you brought me here. What did you do? Where is my Krishna now? Where now is the river Yamuna? Where is Vrindavan? Where are Krishna and the gopis? You have broken my happy dream. Speaking in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully returned to actual consciousness. Seeing Sarup Damodar, Lord questioned him. So this is the point. Who is arranging? Before this verse, Vrunda Devi has been told. Uh, uh, yeah. Previously. Anyway, time is up. Vrunda Devi is arranging. Beautiful pastime. But the last 5 chapters you have to hear from the Asu. You don't read. Okay. Unless you are prophecy because there are some other things is more deeper than it is. So yeah, better hear last 5 chapters of Antilila is very deep. So at deep ecstatic level, so it's better to hear. Before chapters you can read, no problem. So we'll finish this. Living entities assume different bodily forms. Those who are not Vaishnava consider only human society worthy of their sympathy. But Krishna claims to be the supreme father of all forms, not only human beings, ants and animals and whatnot. Consequently, the Vaishnava takes care not to annihilate untimely or unnecessarily any life form. That means any, including trees, plants, nothing. Nothing is cut. That's why you'll see in Juhu, Vrindavan, trees in the middle of the temple. No cutting business. Prabhupada didn't like it. One time they did in Juhu, that's what they tried. One plant, one tree, they cut off or they cut some branches. Prabhupada came and said, who did this? Then immediately chastised. You never do this without asking me. In Dallas, Texas also they did in one of the temple. Wherever it happened, Prabhupada was very furious when he heard these things. Because he saw everything as just like the Pandavas asking in Vrindavan also. Don't cut us. So that's Pandav Tali is there in Vrindavan on the bank of Radhakund. They were there, all the pure devotees, they're always there. Wherever Lord's pastime is going on, just like as much as Sadasiv is there in different names, Bhutanath, many names, Gopeswar Mahadev in Jagannath Puri, in Mayapur, in Vrindavan. Is there in everywhere in different appearance. In Mayapur, you will see the 5-headed and even more headed. You will not find in all other places like that. But in Mayapur, so many places are there where Lord Shiva is performing his pastimes. He's enjoying his rasa with his Lord. And same thing is happening with my Vrindavan also. Same thing happening with Jagannath Puri also. Is there everywhere. He's relishing his pastimes. So because that is what is attracted to. So where it is. Consequently, where we are, they have to finish the duration allotted to a particular body before being promoted or evolved to another body. Killing an animal or any other living being simply places an immediate impediment in the way of his completing his term of imprisonment in a certain body. One should therefore not kill bodies for one's sense gratification, for this will implicate one in sinful activity. Already we have enough sins. So why to add one more and complicate our life? Future become bleak. And so that's why we should avoid it. Other things are there now. If there is no other so options, then we can consider. We might have come from certain background, fine, but slowly, gradually, we have to change that. So that is the point. Sadhus are there to bring us to the real happiness. We might be trying to get some happiness through some other method, but when we understood that, there's better. There's a better job out there. There's a better way to invest. There's a better way to get home. Better, you can purchase home like this. You can purchase a car like this. If somebody tells, then of course we hear and then we follow it. Why did I waste? Why did I spend so much money for this car when I'm getting 5,000 less? Of course we want to do that. Same thing here. So when I'm going to get real happiness, why should I bother about these temporary happiness for small things? I will grab onto the permanent happiness so that I can be happy always. So this is what we have to learn from the great acharyas, from Mr. Prabhupada.